your host, Tajon Perkins, and I want everybody to welcome Mr. Peter Guzman to the stage. Mr. Guzman, tell us about the Latin Chamber of Commerce. As the president, what are some of the goals for the organization?
Well, first let me tell you about the Latin Chamber of Commerce. The Latin Chamber of Commerce predominantly is here to represent the small business community and the business community at large, whether it's laws that are affecting them or environment that's affecting them. Our goals for the organization really are to help the small business community thrive. And we believe that if the small business community is thriving, that will trickle down to the education and other issues of the community and help form a real community.
Next question. Before becoming president of the Latin Chamber of Commerce, you were a real estate broker. What made you go into real estate, and what do you credit for your success?
So what made me get into real estate was when I got married, I started negotiating for our first house, me and my wife. And I really came away feeling really good about my negotiation on that, not knowing too much about real estate. But I felt really good about the deal, and I realized, wow, I may have a passion for this. So I went into real estate school and got all the education that I needed. While in real estate school, I met a gentleman named Lynn Wardley, who was the founder of that real estate company. And, I took the initiative and the aggressiveness to go into his office and say, listen, my name's Peter Guzman. I want to be as successful as I can be in real estate. Will you help me? And he was an older gentleman, and he said, absolutely. And that kind of helped me get started on the right foot.
Like you said, you didn't know nothing about real estate, and you told me that you asked him, can he get help? What made you decide to ask him to help you with real estate? Because some people are shy.
That's a very impressive question, and what made me take that initiative and not be shy is I realized at that moment that that's what I wanted to do. And once you really feel your passion about something, you'll lose that shyness very quickly. Otherwise, you'll get left behind, and I realized that very quickly. So absolutely, I took the initiative to go to him, and I would encourage all young people to take that risk and that initiative to do that.
Seems you always had a businessman spirit. What inspired you to want to own your own business?
You know, it's an interesting question and a true story. I think I was about 12 or 13 where, I took the lemonade out of our cupboard. I made lemonade and I went outside and sold it and made money doing it. And then I got my first real life lessons from my father, who was my best friend. He said to me, son, you're making a lot of that profit because you're using the product that I buy and selling it, but you didn't buy the product. So that was a good lesson, right? It taught me that I needed to adjust my pricing because from that point on, I was going to buy my own lemonade or share the profits with him. So it was a really interesting moment. And now as I look back, I realize that small life lesson has become so important in my life. It made me realize I wanted to be a business owner. I'm happy to be a businessman, but that I needed to know my product, what I'm selling, and what are the costs.
Like you said, when your father was saying he bought the products, but you wanted to go out and sell it, what would you do if your son or daughter did the same thing? Would you be mad, or would you be in a laughing matter?
No, I wouldn't be mad at all. I think we kind of did go through that. My son is an entrepreneur and sold a lot of tennis shoes, and I finally had to break it down to him that he was making a tremendous profit on shoes that I bought. And he didn't share the profit with me yet. So I taught that same lesson to my son.
Tell us about your greatest achievement and your biggest challenge that you overcame.
The greatest achievement is an easy one for me. My greatest achievement are my son, Gio Guzman, and my daughter, Tatiana Guzman. They're the reasons why I do everything I do, and they're my greatest achievements and always will be. The things I had to overcome, listen, I did a lot of my growing up on 28th Street in Bonanza, very challenging area, with a lot of challenging people and a lot of challenges put in front of me. But I had a father who never gave up on me. I had a father who stuck with me, gave me the proper advice, and kind of inspired me to go a different direction, and I'm grateful for that.
What would you tell your childhood self if you had a chance to go back in time and meet him?
Wow. So I get to go back and meet me,
Yes.
knowing what I know today. Well, I'll tell you one thing. The first thing that pops in my head is I would tell me to listen to my father's wisdom a lot more than I did, because then the life would have been a little bit easier. But that's the way it goes. We don't get that opportunity. All we can do now is, all I can do as a father is try to help my son and my daughter listen to my wisdom.
This question is the random question of the day. If you could trade lives with anyone for a day, who would it be and why?
If that was today, it would be with Donald Trump. And the reason why is because I would let him sit back and watch me explain to him and the world that Hispanics have made tremendous contributions to this country. Immigrants have made a tremendous contribution to this country. And there's no need for harsh and hurtful rhetoric. What we really need to do is unite.
Thank you for watching 100 Live. And this is my guest, Mr. Peter Guzman. And I am your host, Tajon Perkins. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.